So right now we do have a lot of stuff going on. We have a logging project that is still right in the middle right now. It's a 3-year logging project that we started in December of 2020. We have a logger that's Scott Chafee, who has been gracious enough to come and take care of some of these dead and decaying trees that we have on the property. So he's been out here working now, and we do still have some cleanup out there, which is going to be there for the summer. You know, we're doing our best. We're going to make the golf course nice and playable for this year. Once the leaves come on all the trees and everything, you won't even notice much of it. And then as soon as November comes back and everybody heads to Florida, we will be getting right back to it and picking up all the rest of the debris, the rest of the stump holes, and some of the other cleanup that are associated with the logging project of this size. So the main reason was the safety issues it was creating on the golf course. A couple years ago, we did have a cart get hit with a tree that fell on hole 15 where we are now. That the cart, actually all the clubs got snapped, and luckily no one was injured. I know a tree falling on someone, it's a 1 in a million chance, but when you have thousands and thousands of trees dying, the chances are increased. And many of the red pine on this golf course, actually 100% of the red pine on this golf course, will be dying within the next 2 to 3 years. Same thing that happened at the Quabbin Reservoir here in Massachusetts. As many of you might know, that's what happened there as well. Scott was actually taking part in that logging project as well. So we're removing all the red pine, and while we have the equipment on site and doing the red pine, we had the forester from the DCR, state of Massachusetts, also associated with this, and start to remove some of the white pine that are overcrowded and the ones that are in poor health that kept falling. I can reference the thunderstorms from last July when we had multiple days of cleanup on hole 3, hole 2, hole 1, when all the white pines were falling as well. So now we're doing a select process with foresters and the DCR to take select trees out and make our property more safe. And my job while doing this is to also create a aesthetically pleasing property while maintaining the integrity of the Donald Ross layout we have here at the Orchards. It's something that I've really wanted to do since I've taken this position. I've been a part of these projects at other top 100 golf courses across the country and seen what it can do for the golf course and the improvements that it makes and the aesthetics that will be there once the project is complete. Removing the trees will create more sunlight, more air movement, which is very necessary for all the grass we have here at the Orchards. We already have a historically wet property here. Any trees and more sunlight that we can give the property and the grass will improve playing conditions tremendously. So we are making some adjustments to the layout. This includes mostly just adding new tees and lengthening some of the holes and shortening some of the holes. There is many reasons for this. Lengthening the holes is going to give us the ability to create a longer golf course. We all know that the game of golf, the ball's going farther. To make it a little more challenging for some of our low handicap players, which we have many of here at the Orchards, adding some few back tees will only add to the creativity of this golf course and not take away from Donald Ross at all. The holes are still staying the same layout. It's going to be the same shots. Many of the tees that we are putting in, you're still going to have the same tee shot. You're now just going to be playing with the club that Ross intended. A lot of these holes, the ball wasn't going that far in 1922. So when we add these new tees, you're getting back to the roots of what Donald Ross created, hitting the club off the tee, the challenges off the tee that Ross wanted that have kind of gone away as the balls went further and further. And as for the forward tees, golf, we need to grow the game as much as we possibly can. We got a lot of beginners, we got a lot of women members, junior members, members who are just taking up the game, that we want to create them a golf course as well that they can have fun and play. And we do not have a lot of forward tees out here. It is a very challenging property for a beginner, a junior. And I feel that the Tee It Forward program initiated here by the USGA is something that we can take part in to get more teeing surfaces closer, to get people out here on the golf course and knowing the great game that is golf. This golf course didn't have any trees here when Donald Ross first laid it out in 1922. There was very few trees. As you can reference the pictures in the clubhouse, there was no trees on this property. But we do know, understanding that we are in a New England golf course with tree line, it's not going back to a farm where there's going to be no trees out here. My goal is to create a property that keeps the best, most aesthetically pleasing, such as our tree on hole 18. It's a tree that defines the whole hole. It's an oak or a maple or a hardwood tree that is in the right place for a golf course, and it's also got the room to grow and get bigger and more beautiful and be groomed over time. What happens is the trees outgrow each other, such as on the right side of 11. where everything there was cut at one time and then just let go, to where we got bazillions of saplings coming in, and all those saplings now are creating an environment that is not poor for turf and it's poor for aesthetics. So I feel that as we do this, we will be going in there and stump grinding the areas on the edges of the holes that are in play, but then the forest will be regenerating itself with better quality trees that are going to last longer. And as time goes on, it'll be my responsibility to go in there and thin out select trees and let the good trees come in as we do that. And some areas also will be adding some little fescue along the edges. That I want everybody to understand that this isn't something that's going to happen the next month or two. This is a long-term, over 3-year plan to get all of this done. So we've had great weather so far. Our course plays a lot better when it's firm and fast, and we haven't had to water the golf course whatsoever at all yet, other than the greens because of aerification. The tees are getting a little drought-driven in some other areas, but all we're doing there is driving roots. There's a reason we're not watering the golf course and making it perfectly lush and green this early, is we're doing our best for our turf grass to stress it out. When you stress the plant in the spring, you're going to drive the root system as deep as it'll go and create a nice healthy turf plant come the middle of July when we need it to be the healthiest. So there is a method to my madness there. I've had some comments saying the course is getting brown in edges and some areas need water. A lot of that grass it's not dead. It just goes dormant, and when it goes dormant, it's actually saving and storing energy to get us through the summer months and the stress and stuff. On the next few months, so we're going to continue on cleanup. We're going to keep stump grinding areas that are in play and getting them picked up and soil and seed. The projects coming up are going to be mainly getting our bunkers back into playable form when we receive our new Sand Pro machine. They do need some TLC out there. We are aware of it. We have such a small crew right now that we did give them a little facelift over the past weekend to make the golfers happy, and they're playing okay, but they do need some serious TLC, which I'm hoping to do when I get a few more crew members back come May. As far as other projects, basically we're in the area of the month now where we're just going to be maintaining the surfaces we do have while throwing in little projects here and there. We have started sodding approaches where we've had some dead turf loss. We're using our nursery grown in-house last year to sod all these areas out, and such as the front of 3, that approach has always been terrible. 16, 12, we've already done some sod work there and some plug work, and the guys are going to keep chipping away at that best we can while maintaining the grass growing. What we're going to do now is on the holes where the logging is taking place on 4, 6, 8, and 12, we are going to mark those areas as hazard, a red hazard, to give players a drop right there rather than having to go into any areas that could be dangerous or unsafe right now. So those areas will be marked red, but as members come back, they might think, oh my goodness, this is, it is intense what we did. We're not talking just, 20 trees, 100 trees, we're talking thousands of trees. So there is going to be the wow factor, and I just want everybody to know that it wasn't a decision made just at the whim. This is something that I've been planning for 3 years. I've been working on. I've probably met with over 10 loggers in the past 3 years trying to create a solution for this problem, and this is the best solution that I found for. This is not costing the membership any money. It's not costing my budget, CBIG. It's not costing anybody any money. This is a complete barter that is going on right now with Mr. Chafee. So that's kind of why we did it now.